work started nice and early at the house this morning. The two builders were with us by 8:30 and they pretty much started work straight away. They are now insulating the underneath of the house, so that will hopefully make a very big difference in the winter and make the house nice and toasty, hopefully. And we are all out of the house. We've got Story and Eden with us, of course, and we're out for our day trip. We have actually been driving for a while already, but we've still got 55 minutes to go until we're there at our destination, and we are driving to a village called Sortelha, which is in the Garda region of Portugal, which is quite close to Spain. It's a really lovely day, nice blue skies, and it's currently 20 degrees, but it is still quite early, so I'm sure it will heat up a little bit later on, as it normally does in Portugal. Story is having a nap at the moment, and I think Eden has joined her. Eden's been asleep pretty much as soon as we got in the car. It's a nice drive though, isn't it? The roads have been nice and quiet.
Yeah, it's lovely. I think this is the same road we drove when we left to Portugal to go back to England, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the one that leads to Spain.
Okay. Oh, hello Eden. I thought you were sleeping. You're not. You're awake. The village we chose to go to, Jay found it on the el-haj Historica of Portugal, which is the historical villages list. It looks really pretty in pictures that we saw of it, so we thought, why not, let's go for a drive and see somewhere new. And we have arrived. It was a really lovely drive to get here, and we've just got to the village, and it is like a mini obidos, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've just driven through the tiniest gate in the medieval wall to get in. Yeah, we're here, I'm excited.
This is really cool. Look at this. I think we were right to be excited about this. It is 360 degrees of beautiful scenery. Look at that. But first things first, we need to feed Story. She needs to have her breakfast. Ready for your breakfast? Hello. I almost sat on you. I'm going to come and sit on this bench and feed my baby, if that's alright. You found a lovely relaxing place to sit, haven't you? Story's having her breakfast under the big tree. I'm just walking around, walking Eden, looking at some of the details of this beautiful town. It is really, really cool. I haven't even left the car park yet, and already there's lots to see. Looks like they've got a well here. It's still got water in it. This is the entrada of the village where we just drove in. Keep in mind as well, this is a Saturday and it's absolutely dead here. It's perfect. Unusual for a tourist place to be completely dead. This is one thing I'm loving about Portugal so far. It feels undiscovered. The fact that we can come to a listed tourist site on a Saturday and be alone, almost anyway, to explore and take pictures without people in the way. This reminds me a little bit of Saint Benoit de Sol in France. When we were driving back to Portugal from England, we stopped off at one of the most beautiful villages in France, and a bit like this, hardly anybody around, freedom to just walk around and explore and take pictures without being mobbed by crowds. It feels like that. That cat's still there. Yeah. Look at that messy face. Eat your breakfast. What are you done now? Good girl. I've just been walking around for the last hour or so, taking some shots on the big camera, and wow, is this town beautiful. Definitely worth coming to. I honestly don't know why there's so little people here. It must be just because of its location. It's quite difficult to get to unless you're heading through Spain, I think. But otherwise, stunning area. It's amazing, isn't it, Sash?
It's really beautiful, yeah.
But just take a look at these lovely streets. It's like a photographer's dream here. Every corner I've turned and everywhere I look, there seems to be something to take a picture of. These memory cards are going to fill up fast. We're not even in the town anymore. We've left the walls and there's still so much to take pictures of. We are actually looking for the perfect place to have a picnic now because we've brought food with us. And Eden's getting a bit hot now. There's not much shade in this town.
No.
Here's a quick panorama. And also, listen to how quiet it is. Once again, wind energy. Portugal's very good with this. And then the castle walls. Fancy buying that ruin, Sash? What a view it has. Amazing. It is right next door to a cemetery though, so probably not the best place to build a future home, is it?
Might get it for really cheap though.
Yeah, it's true. What's happening? Oh, Eden. Go and enjoy it. Cool yourself right down. That's nice, isn't it, Eden? Drink up. Oh, fresh water. Right on the butt. Oh, you sweetie. Gosh, she must have been really hot. You can actually scale these castle walls. They have steps protruding, but they look a bit precarious, I must say. A little bit scary to climb. Here's an example of one. Although I have seen ones that are much narrower. I have actually climbed one, haven't I, Sash, earlier today?
I didn't.
No, I didn't film it on this camera. I filmed it for our other video, but yes, that was scary. And lo and behold, we found a lovely picnic bench under a tree. I'm going to see what it looks like from the top of this staircase. It is actually very cool from up here. It's like the Great Wall of China. Check this out. At the top of those steps, we have this. Amazing. Sortelha is impressing me. Oh, there was a much easier staircase to go on in the end. Should we go and get our food and return here to eat it? What do you think, Story? Yeah, Daddy. Sasha's just taking Story up to see the view. Lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
We're the queens of the castle.
Alright, we made it back. We got Story in her pram this time. Bit cobbly, wasn't it?
It was cobbly, but there's no steps to this bit, so
Yeah.
fine.
We were just saying to each other though, this would have been the perfect opportunity to bring our all-terrain pushchair, which is sitting under our house, pretty much unused. It would have been perfect to bring it today. We're going to take the sling and the pram next time, and then we can choose. This is the current view from our picnic spot. We've got these lovely roofs here, these pretty buildings over there, and you can just about see the top of the castle and the Portuguese flag. Being a dog here, I've got an announcement to make. I hate coming out nowadays. I hate it. It's too hot for me. I'd rather stay at home. Ready for your rolls?
I'm just smiling opening it. I'm so ready for this roll.
We're hungry. I made you avocado, basil and tomato roll, and I took the juice out of the tomatoes to keep the sandwich nice and dry.
It's good.
I know you don't really like tomatoes. Right, lunch over. Coming in up the steps. I know they're big steps, but you can do it. Come on. Good girl. You can climb the castle walls. Good dog. We're all standing on top of the castle walls now. We wanted to take a quick selfie over here before we start heading off. So let's quickly do that. It's lovely here. Sacha, Eden and Story are back at the car. I'm just going to quickly check out the main castle while we don't have the pram and a dog making things difficult. More amazing views. This is where I'm going. It's beautiful. So this is what it looks like inside the castle. I just can't get over how quiet it is here. It makes it feel a little bit awkward to vlog. Let's have a look around. What's down here? I'm outside the castle walls. I can't believe how much this reminds me of the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall was a little bit more ruins than this. But if anyone's been there, I think you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. Whew. This is probably not a great place to stand if you're scared of heights, because it is pretty damn high. I'm not sure if it looks high on the camera. That's what we're looking at right now. What a place this is. Way down there, that's where Story is. Okay, I've just done a full circle around the castle. Looked at all the cool views. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth coming up here. Very cool. This is something worth noting. In the UK, this would never be allowed. See how there's like no barriers or ropes? I could easily fall off. And yet, it's left up to your own devices. I like that. You don't feel like you're being babied into anything. If you want to take risks, you can. And if you don't have to. I like it. Right, we're going to head off to our next destination now, but I've really enjoyed this place. I would say though, that this is probably the first time in a very long time where I've felt vertigo pretty much every 10 minutes or so. A little bit scared of the heights, yeah, and a little bit scared of the edges. So I would say if you're scared of heights, don't come here, or stay away from the edges.
Stay away from the walls.
Yeah.
It's very nice though. Beautiful. It's different.
Very different, very beautiful. Definitely worth a visit.
Yeah.
You're probably wondering, where's he wandering off to? On his own, without the family. There's an abandoned building that we found on a blog here in Portugal, which looks absolutely amazing. And I want to go and check it out, but it looks like the road isn't really suitable for our car. So I'm just checking to see how far we can drive and how far we may have to walk. Story's still asleep, so I'm just taking a swift stride up the hill to see this abandoned hotel. Look at the floors on this place. They're really good. And the doors. Man, this is another country. This place would have been stripped. Look at these doors. That's an antique right there. Amazing. Right, let's go up there and have a look. So this is the pathway leading up to the hotel itself. I'll tell you what, it is a beautiful place. I can't believe this place got abandoned. Look at that. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's absolutely silent, minus a few birds flying around and the sound of the wind. Kind of spooky. Let's take a look inside, shall we? Old mattress. Cool. I'm inside. Before we go any further, I want to tell you a little bit about why this place is abandoned, which I think is really cool. Right, if you're looking for this place, it's called Termostauradium, which is like radioactive thermal springs. Now, back in the 1940s, believe it or not, people in Europe thought that radiation was a cure for a lot of diseases, including skin conditions. So people used to come here as a hotel built on the thermal spa, radioactive one, and try and heal themselves. It was a tourist attraction. By the end of it, they were selling radioactive water from the pharmacies, and it was a big deal in Europe. And then the H-bomb dropped in Hiroshima. People realised that radiation is not very good, and everything flipped on its head. This hotel couldn't sustain itself anymore, went into bankruptcy, and never ever recovered. So now, this place is completely abandoned. It's actually owned by somebody, so it is private property, but nobody's got the money to do it up. It's just too huge. So believe it or not, this used to be a radioactive thermal spring, and that is why it's abandoned today, because people are scared of the radiation. It's obviously not radioactive now, but how cool is that? Okay, I can't lie, I'm starting to get a little bit freaked out walking out here all by myself, so I'm going to return to my family, and they're probably getting a bit freaked out now seeing me walk into this abandoned hotel and then not come back for about 20 minutes or so. So, back to Sash and Story. I couldn't resist, I had to bring you back. We weren't sure if we'd be able to get the Mazda up here, but we managed to find a route along the channels in the road, and I had to show Sash. It's just too beautiful. Look at the size of it for scale. Isn't it huge? We mentioned this in the vlogs before, a while back, but Sacha and I used to explore abandoned buildings, didn't we? Back in the early photography days. We went to one in France, 2 in France actually, and there was a couple in the UK that we went to see. We did photo shoots in there with models, didn't we? So we explored a couple of abandoned buildings when we were younger.
This would be cool.
This would be an amazing place for a photo shoot. And what's interesting about this place as well is it feels safe in there, as in like the ground is solid, it's all like stone. Whereas some of the buildings that you go to, sometimes they feel a bit like they're going to fall apart. Worth coming up here?
Yeah.
Did you look inside?
Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to stay here. as in a hotel.
I guess, yeah. Story's still asleep, so we're just going to do a little bit more wandering around within sight of the car. And we are done at this very cool abandoned hotel. Jay filmed a few more shots, and you got the drone up in there as well, didn't you? I did, yes, but not for this video. No, for my end of year special.
We are going to head home now via a fuel station to top up the old Mazda with diesel. It done us well today. Well done, Mazda.
Off-road vehicle.
I hope you enjoyed today. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was nice to have a little outing. Hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to check the links here if you want to see how you can watch our weekend vlogs. If you didn't know, we are putting a video up on the weekend now as well. So 6 vlogs a week. 6 days a week. Yeah, but you have to become an 8-miler, so check those links. And we'll see you next time. Bye.